What's up, everybody? Welcome to In Love with Horror, your destination for all things horror. And this is your midweek horror news update, y'all. And on this update, we'll be talking about updates for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. We got a new image that just dropped for Nosferatu that features Willem Dafoe's character. FX will soon be closing the chapter on What We Do in the Shadows, unfortunately. And also, STARZ is canceling the horror comedy series Shining Vale. And then we'll be talking about the first of the Stangers Trilogy now having a release date. So that's all coming up, so stay tuned. Let's talk Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, y'all. So Gail Keenan, who's the director for this film, had an interview with Empire Online where he gave a little bit of an insight of what's to come. Now, in the interview, he kind of talked about, he co-wrote Afterlife with Jason Reitman. And, Jason Reitman directed Afterlife. Mm-hmm. And he kind of spoke to the fact that, in that they went up against Gozer, talked about how this is kind of like a full circle moment for Ghostbusters fans, kind of closing a chapter so they can go on and explore new things within the Ghostbusters mythos. Now, in this interview, Keenan was quoted saying, quote, "We are now in the post-Gozerian era of the Ghostbusters saga. So that means we're able to stretch out and create an entirely new mythology. And that's thrilling as a storyteller because there are all new and terrifying stakes with fresh visual references to draw on." And of course, we can see that in the trailer. Yeah. And speaking of that, we actually did a reaction to the trailer over on our YouTube channel. So go check that out because we had a lot of fun with that trailer. Yeah, I actually really liked it quite a bit. But, we got to look at the villain within that trailer and, it seems like this villain could potentially look super fire because it was kind of, it was all in shadow through like some sort of fog. So you kind of got the outline of what this villain could look like, which was, super interesting. Now, with this interview, they also dropped a new image that showed Bill Murray's character and Paul Rudd's character just having look like they're having some sort of a conversation or whatever, very just kind of chill image. But what do you think about that image when you saw that?
Yeah, it was dope. It was funny because we've had this conversation already.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I liked the image. I mean, you can't get like a lot of context out of the image. It kind of looks like they might be in the firehouse, which I'm hoping, we get some a little bit of nostalgia nods with that in this new film. But I was telling you that it was like very, not weird, but it was just like a weird feeling, like looking at this image and seeing two actors who are like, integral parts of characters and things that we've experienced through like our childhood growing up, watching movies. Yep. Like we both really like movies, right? So that's not just horror. We like all kinds of movies. Yep. And so I watched a lot of movies. Ghostbusters, Clueless, Paul Rudd was in one of my favorite movies as a kid. Yeah. But there's other movies too, like Osmosis Jones I mentioned, and Space Jam.
Yeah, Space Jam.
Like those are all the movies that Bill Murray was a part of, and like seeing him in this image with his head of white hair, and even Paul Rudd. I mean, he still looks good, but he's aging. Yeah. And so it's just like, dang, I'm getting old too. Like,
yeah, it's like you realizing like, oh man, time is
flying.
Yeah, time is moving, time's flying, and like it's a lot of nostalgia. But
it is. But yeah, seeing that image just kind of like gets you in the feels, right?
Oh, yeah,
like
100%.
I've seen these people literally all my life almost. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's kind of like the same feeling that you saw with like the Harry Potter characters, like how they literally grew up in film. So you've seen these people your entire life in movies, and you've seen them age over the course of their whole life, and all these different movies that you love from when we were kids. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Yeah. Now, so they dropped that image, but they also dropped a new poster for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire as well. And this poster, features a lot of cool things on there, a lot of like ghosts on there, the classic ghosts, some new looking weird worm thing. And then of course we get our main villain kind of in the background. It's still in the backdrop. It's still kind of like keeping it a little secretive.
Yes.
Which makes me feel it's going to go kind of hard. But
yeah, I think it is.
In that poster, it looks kind of like some sort of like demon creature or something like that.
Like you said, because he has the horns and stuff. Yeah. And we got a little bit of that in the trailer too. And like I said to you earlier, it's like he seems like he has like this regal air to him. Like the way he walks, like I own this shit. Like I'm about to throw down type of thing.
Yeah, and it could be a she too. Like I mean, we have no idea. It could be voiced by anybody. So like, but speaking to the elegance, it makes me feel like it's gonna be
like a demon type thing.
Yeah, like a female demon type thing.
That would be hard.
Which I don't know. It could given how that demon looks in the shape and like, I don't know, could have that like you're saying, like that regalness, the elegance to it.
Yeah.
But also being super terrifying. I don't know. Like, it could be kind of interesting
though, but I'm hyped.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Hearing more about this, like the new poster and everything, like it's got me even more hyped
super
and excited.
Yes, like the poster is just beautifully done. Like the iciness, like it feels like I think they called it like the death chill or something like that. I can't remember.
The trailer,
can't remember what it was. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, it looks like, this is gonna be deadly.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, we're super excited for this film. Yeah. It comes out, I believe it's March 29th, 2024. So let us know down in the comments below, y'all. How excited are you for this film? Do you like this new poster? Do you like some of the images they dropped so far? How do you like the trailer? Go check out our trailer reaction. And then what do you think this new villain could be? Because they're talking about opening up a new mythology really for Ghostbusters, which is, interesting because that means we're going to get something brand new that maybe will tie into existing lore. I don't know. Let us know down in the comments below what y'all think for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. So Nosferatu released new images this time featuring Willem Dafoe. Now, Robert Eggers Nosferatu hits theaters next year on Christmas. It's going to be a dope Christmas gift, y'all. And it features, of course, starring Bill Skarsgård, Lily Rose Depp, and Willem Dafoe. Now, Entertainment Weekly recently shared an exclusive image that shows Willem Dafoe, and he's playing a very eccentric and wild vampire hunter named Professor Alban Eberhard von Franz. And Egger says that the character is more of a amped up version than the 1922 version. And he's like a, quote, crazy vampire hunter.
It's going to be Robert crazy.
Version, which literally. Is perfect. Yeah, that is if you want crazy, that is the perfect pairing with Willem Dafoe. Yeah. This, eccentric
he does
vampire
crazy
hunter.
very well.
Now, Eggers goes on to say about this scene, which the image was taken from. He says, quote, that sequence, aside from having real flames, had 2,000 real rats, which is challenging, but also fun. Which is crazy. And, we talked about this image earlier. Yeah. And we both thought about
Hoarders.
There's a Hoarders episode. So for some reason lately we've been watching Hoarders reruns on YouTube because they got the full episodes on YouTube on the A&E channel. Yeah, YouTube channel. And there's an episode that features a gentleman and his like hoarding deals with these pet rats that he has. He started with like a couple,
bunch of them,
and over the decades grew to like thousands. So when they said 2,000 rats, that's the first thing I thought about was that episode. But, and I was also thinking too, like, how do you even, like, how they have like the pet trainers on movie sets with dogs and cats and stuff like that. Horses, everything.
I think about Nope.
So, yeah, exactly.
He was a horse trainer.
So, like, how do you even manage 2,000 rats?
That's crazy. They have to have some kind of like signal or something.
I mean,
and it's got to be like a very contained, like it might look massive to us on screen, but it's got to be like a super small area or something crazy like that. Or like they might have just trained them so well that those rats gonna listen to whatever.
And go back to their crates and go back home, whatever. I'm thinking like if you get a couple that sneak out, you don't have rats infesting in your studio on the set and stuff.
Exactly.
So, that was super crazy. But this is Willem Dafoe's third time working with Robert Eggers. Of course, he was in 2019's The Lighthouse, and then in 2022's The Northman.
Haven't seen either.
I know you haven't seen either of those, but I've seen them, and those movies are incredible.
I trust you.
Oh, they are amazing. Both films, I love them. Like
The Northman, right? You said?
Yeah, The Northman.
Okay, and then the other one is
The Lighthouse.
The Lighthouse.
Yeah, The Lighthouse
didn't have good reviews, right?
White. I thought it did have good reviews.
Oh, okay. I thought people didn't like that one.
I can't even really remember, but I know I loved it. I was like, this is super like intense and like weird, but
I have to watch
cool,
it
artistic
myself.
way. The Northman was just like the Northman was like the witch with like Vikings.
Oh,
like,
like
it's like in that. Oh, it's
I like Viking stuff.
Like visually, like the visual storytelling and some of the like just incredible camera work and the performances. Like it's super visceral, and it's very much like in the vein of The Witch. It's very much heavy on the drama aspect. Don't get me wrong. There's some like cool like fight scenes, some great gore, but it's very like poetic and like very like intimate, like in your face, and the grittiness and the feeling that you get from The Witch is kind of what you get with The Northman. So just keep that in mind, like as you're walking into it, because I do feel like the marketing sometimes for The Northman, like made it feel like it was like this like action Viking movie, and it very much was not like that. But I still loved it. Like I still thought it was incredible. But we were both super excited for Nosferatu, y'all. Like,
oh yes, most definitely.
I can't like as soon as we were able to buy them tickets, we buying them for the
yeah.
first showing that's available. We're super hyped about this.
For sure.
Huge Robert Eggers fans over here, y'all. But let us know down in the comments below, how excited are y'all for Nosferatu? And did you enjoy this new image featuring Willem Dafoe? Like, what do you think Nosferatu would look like? Because they haven't shown him yet.
No, I know they're saving that for.
We even got like a blurred image, like out of focus.
And it was
image.
like the back side of his face.
And they're hyping it up like he's about to look crazy. Let us know how y'all think they're going to present him, because we got some very interesting Dracula presentations recently with Voyage of the Demeter, Last Voyage of the Demeter having like this weird like very monster creature-esque version. So let us know what you think he's going to look like, and then let us know how hyped you are for Nosferatu down in the comments below. All
right, so for our next story, we're talking about What We Do in the Shadows, and then they're canceling it after the next season. So we're 5 seasons in, 6 seasons coming up, and that's going to be it.
Yeah.
So Deadline reported earlier today that we're getting only one more final season of it. I'm really sad about this because this is a really good show. Like, you haven't watched it yet, but you got to watch it. I've never seen the movie, but the show, if you're not familiar, is based off the feature film with the same title. And it's basically about like this group of vampires and what they do at night. And they have this familiar as well. He's like their like human person who kind of like guides them through life, basically.
Oh, okay.
And obviously he wants to be a vampire too. But yeah, it's just really hilarious. It's kind of like they do it in that mockumentary style, kind of like The Office.
Like,
yeah. And they do just really wild things. They're obviously, they have like some old time mindset, and it's modern day Staten Island, New York. So it's just really funny. And I'm way behind though. I'm only like in the 2nd season. The 1st season was hilarious, and I'm starting on the 2nd season. But I mean, I think they had a good run. I mean, six season is good.
That's a lot. That is a lot.
Thinking about everything that's getting canceled these days.
Hey, 6 is
stuff
pretty
not
good.
making it past 1 season nowadays. Yep. But in the first 2 seasons, What We Do in the Shadows earned 10 Emmy Award nominations, including 1 for Outstanding Comedy Series. And season 3 is currently eligible for Emmy consideration and recently earned 3 Critics' Choice Award nominations, including 1 for Best Comedy Series.
Dang, yeah.
So they got some awards
and everything. Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, I love all the characters. I am a big fan of the show. I'm sad to see it go, but I feel like it did its job at the same time.
Yeah. And, you know, I only know about the show just from like you talking about it. But like you said, to make it at 6 seasons, like that's a good tail run. Like that's basically what, if you were to say it's a season a year, it's 5 or 6 years worth of time spent, you know, with an audience and active viewers. And so, that's a good run. Since we don't really know the story, I can't speak to like, you know, how the story was progressing, if there was room to have more. Yeah. Like if it could have kept going or anything like that. You know, I can't speak to like the story aspect of like, you know, because sometimes like shows, they keep going for way too long.
This is
like,
true.
You should have been into this. What?
Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, well, I don't know nothing about that.
Our daughter watches that show.
Yeah.
It's going. It's still going.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, like, and then some shows they end right on time. Some shows they end too early for whatever reason. So, but 5 or 6 seasons, 6 seasons is super dope. But yes, I mean, if you're a huge fan, obviously it's gonna be disappointing.
Yes, it's still sad. Yeah,
to see it go. But you know, hopefully that 6th season is like super
good.
Dope and it ends super strong, and everyone feels really like satisfied with that conclusion of that story. But
well, I'm gonna keep watching it, and I'll let you know by the time I get there.
Yeah, right. You gotta catch up by the time it drops.
Get to.
Yep. But hey,
yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, you got anything else you want to ask?
No.
Me? All right. Well, y'all let us know down in the comments below. How disappointed are you to hear that the 6th season will be the final season for What We Do in the Shadows? And do you recommend that, you know, we keep going? Well, I never watched it. Should I start watching it? And then you keep going.
I think you might like it because AJ loves The Office. Like, I feel like it's very similar to The Office, and it's just vampires.
Okay.
Like the comedy wise, it's very much in that vein.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you might like it.
All
honestly.
Right. So I might watch it and then report back, y'all. But y'all let us know your thoughts on the story down in the comments below.
All right. And with that, we have another horror comedy series that has been canceled.
Crazy.
And literally be erased. So before we get into that, the co-creator of the horror comedy series Shining Vale, Jeff Astroff, posted on his Instagram today. He said, "What an absolute joy I had working on this show. Not a single bad day. Please watch the STARZ, turns out limited, series of Shining Vale by 12/31." And then he put like a cast photo up on, you know,
And meaning December 31st, by
yes,
the way.
yes, December 31st. But yeah, so Variety, I guess, saw this. And so they reached out to get an exclusive statement from him. And he said, given all the real heartbreaking news going on in the world right now, it would be inappropriate for me to say I'm heartbroken about STARZ not picking up Shining Vale for season 3. However, I have no problem saying I'm crushed and deeply saddened by the news. For the actors, it's been a year since we wrapped, but I've been working on writing season 3 up until I heard the news last week. Like, that's insane.
That actually is crazy.
Yes.
He's actively writing.
He's actively working on it.
Right. And then they just drop it on him. Crazy.
Yes. He did go on to say, I'm hoping another streamer picks the show up as we still have a lot of story to tell. And season 3 is already partially written.
Yeah.
So the series was actually created by Astroff and Sharon Horgan, and it's about a family, if you're not familiar, that moved to this small town and their house is haunted. The mom character, Pat, who's played by Courtney Cox, she can see these spirits in the house, but no one else can in the first season. And then there's some other crazy things that happen as well, but I won't spoil it for you. I don't know. It's worth watching it. It's like, it's crazy. Like, should I invest my time?
Well, because you never know, it might come back.
Yes, it might come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's some other crazy stuff, so I won't spoil it for you that happened to the mom. And then season 2, the daughter is also then able to see the spirits as well. But again, there's a lot of other stuff that goes on into this. And it's kind of loosely based on The Shining, thus the title, Shining Vale. But anyways, the weird thing about this show being canceled is it's not just being canceled and you can still watch the seasons after December 31st, as in it's not going to be there at all. Like, they're completely scrubbing it after 12/31. That's crazy. Yeah. I feel like that's the first time I've heard of something like that happening.
I can't think of nothing like right off the top, but I'm sure there's other instances of like
they like y'all not gonna be able to watch none of this after December 31st.
Yeah, I'm sure there's other examples. I can't think of nothing right now, but I guarantee you there's been other shows or films that were streaming based and then have been removed off services. I guarantee that's happened with other shows.
Yeah, probably. But obviously, people who are fans of this are like super upset about it. Yeah. They said in the article it was because the viewership wasn't very big.
Right.
And, I did read a lot of comments where people said they never even heard of the show.
Right.
And you hadn't heard of the show either. So I don't know. Maybe they weren't marketing the show well enough. Like,
that's probably what it is because you said it's on STARZ. How many STARZ ads?
That's another thing.
I don't ever see any STARZ ads.
It's on STARZ. And so I too am hoping that, like Ostrov said, like maybe another streamer would pick it up because a lot of people don't get STARZ. Like, what else is on STARZ? A lot of people say, I just got STARZ just to watch this show. Like, they don't watch anything else on there.
Okay.
So it's like, well, maybe that's what y'all need to look at. Like the other content you have on the show, on the platform to bring people in.
And then put out advertisements to get people to come because, like, I know people. I don't know if Power's still going on. I know Power's on STARZ. A lot of people are watching that.
I know people.
I don't know if that's still going or not though. But I couldn't tell you anything else that's on STARZ like at all. And I don't think I've
never watched STARZ. I don't think
I've ever seen the ads for any. Like, normally when you see an ad, you see like a Netflix ad or like a Hulu ad.
True.
Like, but I've never seen a STARZ ad. I think recently I've seen a Showtime ad.
Yeah, I see more Showtime stuff.
Yeah, but I have not seen no ads for STARZ at all for anything that I'm watching. Yeah.
But I feel like, that's probably the main issue. Like, they were not marketing the show. Or in your opinion, that they weren't marketing the platform.
At least
they won't show up on your feed.
Right? Yeah, it won't pull up on my stuff. Maybe they didn't have the stuff for me. I don't know, but it was not popping up at all.
Yeah, but so that was their reasoning behind it. Yeah. And then people are also like, so are you scrubbing it because you don't want to have to pay residuals for people watching it after the fact? Yeah.
Now, I think the biggest question here, though, is this show on physical disc anywhere?
It is not. And there's no news of they're actually becoming one.
Now, see, that is where the true story is, because this brings up another issue that we're seeing with like kind of video games too.
Yeah.
Where something only had a digital release.
Yeah.
If it gets pulled from the platform, there's literally no way to watch it whatsoever.
As of right now, there's no talk of it being on physical media at all.
That's insane. So it almost literally vanishes from existence, like
unless somebody else
almost like Mandela effect, like
it is.
Snapped, it's gone, like it just didn't even happen.
It didn't happen, just like Shazam with
Sinbad.
I was about to say Shaq.
Yep. See, look at you. But that's crazy though. Like that's kind of scary, right? If you think about like, could you imagine working on something? You're part of this team's, the production crew, the cast, whatever, and
no evidence of what you did.
Like, yeah, like you can't even be like, oh, I was in this great show. But yeah, there's no way for you to watch it at all. Like that's crazy. That's what a lot of people's concern right now is with this all digital future. Yeah, is that stuff can just be taken away due to like negotiations falling through, agreements, whatever. And
somebody was like, that's why you should be getting physical media because you never know.
Well, that's why I asked because that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people do like to buy physical copies of movies, games, TV shows, whatever, because of the fact that they could just pull it off these services. Yep. And you either A, just never watch it again, or just B, hope another service picks it up or that service brings it back. And then up until then, you're just waiting. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. And I've seen it on the video game time right now too. A lot of people were saying like, that's why a lot of people turn to like piracy and stuff like that because of situations like this where it's like, oh, they really want to watch the show. They have literally no other way to watch it. And because the networks and the platforms aren't giving it to them. So now they turn to piracy, which is unfortunate. So it's like, give people the opportunity to even purchase it. Right. So they could even just put it up, be like, hey, before it goes away, you can buy it digitally for download to own. And then you just have it and just price it at whatever you want. Usually TV series are kind of expensive, but you can even go down that path just so people have it and have the option to get it before it goes away completely.
It's insane.
No, that's crazy, y'all. But let us know down in the comments below kind of, your feelings on Shining Vale in general. Like, how'd you like the show? Do you think it's worth us diving in? Even though it's ending, do you still think it's worth, checking out? Because maybe another network could pick it up. Hey, look, you make enough noise online, you can make stuff happen. We've seen it plenty of times with other shows, and there was the airplane show. Yeah. And there was I forgot
even
what it's called,
that recent movie thing that they were scrubbing at, was it Warner Brothers? The
Acme. The Coyote. The Coyote versus Acme. We saw with Zack Snyder's Justice League. And there was enough noise where he got his own, he read his director's cut version and put it on HBO Max. So I'm saying like the opportunity is there for people to make enough noise to bring this thing back. But that's crazy though. And let us know kind of your thoughts on like the all digital landscape, like films, TV shows, games being all digital and then it being able to just disappear completely from these platforms. And how do you feel about that and the importance of physical media? So let's talk about that. Have the discussion down in the comments below, y'all. And the last story, y'all, is all about the Stangers Trilogy. We got an update for it. So we got an actual release date for this trilogy. Now, starting off with chapter 1. And just so you know, apparently the whole trilogy is dropping next year. I guess they're going to do like a Fear Street type of thing from like Netflix. I'm guessing it's in that vein, right? So the Strangers Chapter 1 is set for a theatrical release on May 17th of next year. Now, Chapter 1 is said to be a remake of the original 2008 film. But the sequels, Chapter 2 and Chapter 3, are going in an entirely new direction. It's going to be a whole new storyline. Now, I don't know if it's the whole trilogy or just the Chapter 1. Are they all being directed by Rennie Harlin?
I believe so.
Yeah, so all of them are being directed by Rennie Harlin, and Rennie has done a ton of movies. Deep Blue Sea, 12 Rounds, Die Hard 2, like just a bunch of stuff. And I feel like when you have such a big like filmography, you're gonna have some ups and downs. Mm-hmm. So maybe this trilogy could be one of the ups.
Hopefully, but I'm also wondering like. Okay, so the first one is kind of like a remake, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. Some sort of remake.
Down to they got the same mask.
They have the same mask. I believe when we first talked about this story, they even they went out of their way to get the exact same like material.
Oh right, yeah,
for the mask and stuff like that. Yep. But yeah, so I'm wondering if this is gonna be like this is beat by beat the exact same type of movie, like
right.
Everything is gonna happen the same, and then in the next chapters is gonna start doing whatever they're doing, or if it's just gonna be similar, like a different couple or a different family or whatever. I'm just wondering like how exact they're remaking this.
It seems like it's gonna be pretty close because we got that clip a couple months ago, I think, where someone was knocking at the door. Mm-hmm. She looked at the people and you see someone standing in the background. So I don't think it'll be beat for beat, but
that was a very
the main points will be, I think, the exact same probably. Yeah. I'm just curious to see what the Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 are going to be like. Mm-hmm. And how will the release schedule work? If it's all dropping in 1 year, like are they all theatrical, or will the first one be theatrical and the other two be streaming platforms? Because that would be, I mean, the marketing for it could be crazy, right? Like to be able to say, like, imagine this is kind of hard, right? At the same time, imagine going to the theater. You go to watch Strangers Chapter 1. And the post credit scene is this trailer for Chapter 2, and the release date comes up. Like you could watch this in 2 months. Like,
that would be wild.
I don't know. I don't know nothing that's done anything like that.
No, I don't know
that shit would be kind of crazy. So
yeah,
I'm excited because I like the original Strangers. I didn't care much for the sequel at all.
What was that one?
Like Pray
at Night. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't care for that at all.
That was a different story too, right?
Well, because it was a sequel.
Yeah.
So it's like it was its own thing, though.
Yeah.
I believe. But the first one is still.
Yeah, like, I really loved that first.
Great film, super scary because of the realism of it. So I mean, when it comes to remakes, like I'm always going to give them a chance.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, I like the Stranger, so I'm excited, and especially for this concept of dropping like all three movies. I'm excited to see how this is going to play out.
Yeah.
Like, are they, they're going to build a whole new roadmap potentially for other franchises to be like, oh, so if we film, everything together, we can just drop it like, all in a couple months and get a lot of money off of it or something. I don't know. But the movie's got to be good. That's going to be number one. The movie ain't good. Ain't nobody going to the second or third one. So I'll tell you that right now. So
I'm kind of hoping at least maybe one of those will give us like what happens before. Like, how do these people end up at this house? Or something like, because the whole
some origin, or
some kind of. I would like some background, like how these people came together, like what was happening before they ended up crossing paths with this particular couple.
That could definitely be
like
really chapter 2 or chapter 3. That'd be interesting to get like a backstory on who these people are.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down for that. I feel like it won't take too much away from the first chapter. That's part of the scariness. Is like they're just completely random.
I know.
And like remember in the first one when they were like, "Oh, like why are you doing this?" Because he was home. Yeah. Like that's scary. Like that's it. We just randomly picked your house.
Yeah.
We don't even know you. We got nothing against you, but we picked your house to do these killings, and like that's it. There ain't no what. Like that's part of the scariness. I don't know how this will play out, but I do like the idea of. If you're going to do a trilogy, you got to probably include something that talks about how they came together and make it just, weird or interesting.
Yeah.
And,
I think that'd be cool.
Go crazy. I mean, you making a Stranger trilogy, go crazy.
Got to be wild.
Make it interesting, make it creative. I'm down. I'm ready to see like what this thing's going to be. Because I feel like we've been hearing about this for a while. And it wasn't until recently we actually saw stuff about this. So I know we're curious. We're going to be watching this on May 17th. Let us know down in the comments below. How excited are y'all for the Stangers Trilogy? How do y'all think this release schedule is going to work? If they drop all three in the same year, is it going to be all theatrical? How are they going to play this out? And let us know how you think the stories for the sequels will go. Drop all that down in the comments below. Well, y'all, that'll do it for this midweek horror news update. If you want to stay up to date on all horror news, make sure you're subscribed to our channel, and then make sure you like and share this video. And you can join us down in the comments below to discuss any of the stories that we covered in this update. And we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.